Have you ever taken the time to think about death and the concept of death or the entire process of death? What happens when we die or before we die, like the few moments before we die, or in the process of dying at all? When we talk about death, people usually think that, oh, you're trying to just scare yourself or people around you, or you're coming from a place of negativity, or you're trying to limit yourself from the abundance of life. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about what death has to do with living and seeing death from the perspective of living a better life. Basically, what death can actually teach us about living or living well. Hi, my name is Gigi, and in this channel, I'm dedicated to sharing meaningful lessons for people like me who are looking to live a more holistic life. And when I say holistic life, I'm talking about a life where every area of our life, spiritual, physical, financial, mental, social, even sexual life, is more fulfilled. So I'm dedicated to sharing lessons that I am discovering as a person who's on this journey to live a more holistic and happier life. And I'm sharing with people, hoping that I find people who are on this same journey or this path as me. First, I want to give credit of this topic today to a podcast I listened to by Dr. Amy Robbins, where in a podcast with her guest, she mentioned, or they were talking about what death can teach us about living well. I'm going to leave the link of the podcast in the description of this video. So the podcast basically is trying to tell us how we can see death as a part of life and how we need to stop worrying about dying, but how we can actually die well. And it's from that podcast that I got this inspiration or this quote that has never left my life, where it says, what matters at the end of life is what matters in life. So I just want to talk to you about what I have learned from this podcast and how I am applying it in my life, and what you, who is also on this journey as me to live in a better life, can actually take from it. So the first thing I want to say is that death is a part of life. So I have this short clip from last year, I don't know when you're watching this video, but from last year, where I talked about how you cannot escape death. You cannot actually remove death because we are all going to die someday. It's just a matter of who is first. But I understand that fear and the anxiety of, okay, what if I don't achieve all my potentials? Or what if I lose a loved one and I cannot get over the grief? So now the question is, are you actually doing those things that in those few moments left for you to live, or maybe when your life is flashing before your eyes, you are smiling, or something that people around you can actually say, this person lived well? So even if they're mourning you, they're just happy that yes, they got to spend time with you, or they got to see the greatness in you, or they were impacted by your life. Personally, I do not believe in untimely death. I believe that people die when they're actually supposed to die. I don't know who rules this world. I don't know who writes down all these things. I'm a Christian, and my faith says that it is God that is the author and finisher of our faith, meaning that it's God that decides when we're going to die. But other people do not believe that it is God. People believe that scientifically or whatever, people feel like they can reverse death. But I personally believe that whatever it is that is in charge of how we live and how we die, when you just die, that's when you're supposed to die. There is nothing like, oh, you felt that, like that was your story. And it's quite unfortunate because when you think about it, somehow I feel like, oh my God, so some people's story were just to come into this life, and then at that little moment they were supposed to make it in life, and then they just like died like that. It's so sad. That's why we don't really know, the mystery behind a lot of things. I feel like I should even make a video about certain mysteries of life and what it means to me. So the point here is that because we don't really know where we're going to die, and I do not believe in untimely death. I believe that you die when you're supposed to die. We need to focus on how we are living and how our life can impact our death and our afterlife, or our death, that is the people that we leave behind. So let's talk about the lessons that I have learned, or the lessons I am applying in my life when it comes to what death can teach me about living well. The first thing is mindful daily practices. So I'm a big fan of mindful living. I talk about this a lot on my Instagram. In case you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video. So basically, mindful living is being more conscious of the present, in tune with your body, your soul, what you feel, what's happening around you, what does this mean for you. And then when it comes to daily practices, it's just being more mindful of what you do. Is like being more intentional, or paying close attention, or being present to what you're doing. Okay, let's use like a daily habit or something I do. When I wake up in the morning, I try my best to avoid social media. And let's say if I have 100% lifespan in 1 year, I know that it's just like 20% of the time that I wake up and the first thing I do is that I pick up my phone. And most of the time when I pick up my phone is either I'm expecting a particular message or I need to call someone immediately. Most of the time I'm trying to be more in tune with my morning. I try to walk out a little, walk around my compound, it's just do something that does not really involve talking to people on the internet. Now, this allows me to be more in tune with my body. I need to understand my mood. I know what my body is feeling, what my body is trying to tell me. And it also allows me to connect with my family members, people who are living around me, and just enjoy the morning with them. So what does this even have to do with that? Well, if you are more mindful of what you do in the morning, like your morning routine, you're trying to be present and not doing things like bumping on social media and allowing all the negativity from social media feed you on your anxiety, you realize that your mental health is more in check. You feel calm, you feel happier, you feel relieved, you're starting your day with fresh energy, and that is how you can go about your day, spreading good energy. And if you spread good energy to other people, that is how you're impacting other people's lives. So if you die, or when you die, people remember you as this person who, yes, she or they are always coming with this calm, refreshing energy every morning. And then even for you, the benefit is that your mental health is in check. You wake up every day, you are ready to achieve your goals and whatever it is that you set your mind into. The second lesson is conscious efforts towards the friendship or the love that we show our friends and family. So this already explains itself, because you know that time is not by our side. Nobody knows when anybody's going to die, no matter how careful you are. It reminds you, or it helps you stay check, or be more conscious of how you show love to your loved ones. You want to be there for them more, you want to communicate with them more, you want to be that person that that, yes, this person is just always there for me, because every day is a blessing. Basically, that's what it is. Every day is a blessing. This allows us to show more conscious efforts towards our friends or families. We need to tell them I love you more. So this is me telling you that you need to try to pay closer attention to the way you love your friends and family. This is just like the summary. You want to pay closer attention to the way you love your friends, the way you love your family. Tell them I love you more. Spend more time with them. If you still live with your parents, it's an opportunity for you to develop better relationships with them, because you don't know when they're going to die, especially when they are already elderly. If you live with your friends, whoever that person may be, show more love, because as I said, nobody knows when they're going to die. Now, just a little pause. If you're enjoying this video, please share it with your friend, please share it with your family member, or please just leave a like and please subscribe if you're interested in topics like this. So the third thing, which is almost the same thing as the first thing I said, is authentic living. Authentic living, which is basically living through to yourself, designing your true life. What matters most to you, designing your dream life and living true to yourself. Not minding what people tell you or what people are trying to say about you, or trying to live for people's validation, basically people pleasing. So we're not talking about hurting other people or being careless about life or how other people feel, but we're talking about living a life where you are not trying to live for the validation of the society or people around you, but you're living a life where you are most true to yourself, and your life where you are happier with yourself because you are doing the things that make you happy, make you feel refreshed. So I'm going to give you a classic example. So let's talk about outings. A lot of people are under the pressure to probably do drugs or to party or to go to clubs, but that's not the thing that really matters to you. You prefer to live quietly, go to a coffee shop, read a book, spend time in nature, or even just slow traveling. But because of you want to prove to your friends that you can also be the cool guy, you end up doing these habits that that's only just leave you overwhelmed, stressed, and it doesn't even make you happy. I need you to come out from that by, first of all, you need to push out all those friends and stop being friends with them, and ask yourself, what do I really want for my life? What matters to me at the end of life? What matters to me when I'm taking my last breath? Is it me being happy with myself that I was able to do the things that really matters to me, reading more books, spending more time doing the things I love? And in case you're wondering, okay, but I might not have any other friends besides them, then step out and make other friends. You can actually meet new people who align with your goals. There are many ways to do that. And if you want a video like that, let me know in the comments. So with this, we come to the end of this video, and this is just a very short video on this podcast that really made so much sense to me, and I thought to share. Let me know if you want more content like this. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And in case you're interested in topics like this, my finds, what they mean to me, and the books I'm reading, the articles I'm reading, because I read a lot, and you see me listening to a lot of podcasts on topics like this, you might want to check out my newsletter. It is free. The link is going to be in the description of this video. I'll see you in the next video. My name is Gigi, and thank you for watching.